This morning, we are revealing Consumer Reports' top picks for best and most reliable used cars. For the first time, Consumer Reports looked at the reliability of cars between 5 and 10 years old from 26 different car brands.
It depends on the model. Certain vehicles can go almost, up to 200,000 miles or more from some of these more reliable brands. Others, not so much, but it depends.
Consumer Reports recommends cars under $5,000 that will outlast everything. And the car industry is absolutely terrified you'll discover these hidden gems. Right now, while dealers are pushing $40,000 SUVs with warranties that expire before the first oil change, Consumer Reports has quietly identified dozens of bulletproof vehicles selling for less than a used iPhone. We're talking about cars with 200,000-plus mile lifespans that you can buy for pocket change. Meet David, a mechanic who's worked on luxury cars for 30 years. Last month, he sold his $65,000 BMW and bought a 2005 Toyota Camry for $4,200. His reason? I've seen million-dollar cars break down at 50,000 miles, and I've seen this Camry engine run for 300,000 miles with nothing but oil changes. But here's what the industry desperately doesn't want you to know. These aren't just cheap cars. They're engineering masterpieces that were overbuilt to such an extreme degree that they're practically immortal. Consumer Reports has the data to prove it, and dealers are panicking because customers are starting to figure it out. The secret isn't just finding these cars, it's knowing which specific years, which exact models, and which hidden features separate the legends from the lemons. Because buried in Consumer Reports data is a treasure map to automotive gold that could save you tens of thousands of dollars. But here's the million-dollar question. If these cars are so reliable that they can outlast vehicles costing 10 times more, why is the entire automotive industry working overtime to hide them from you? The compact cars that were built when manufacturers still believed in making things that last forever. These aren't just cheap transportation. They're engineering marvels disguised as economy cars. Consumer Reports didn't just recommend these cars, they practically begged people to buy them before the secret got out. Here are the small cars that laugh at planned obsolescence. The Corolla from this era isn't just reliable, it's indestructible. Consumer Reports gave it their highest reliability rating for 6 straight years, and owners routinely report 300,000 plus miles with nothing but routine maintenance. The 1.8-liter engine is so simple that mechanics joke it could run on cooking oil. The transmission is a bulletproof 4-speed automatic that shifts the same at 250,000 miles as it did at 25,000. No fancy electronics to fail, no complex systems to break, just pure, honest transportation. Sarah from Denver told me last week she bought a 2005 Corolla with 180,000 miles for $4,800. My friends thought I was crazy buying a high-mileage car. 3 years later, it's at 240,000 miles and runs better than my neighbor's brand new Nissan that's already had 2 recalls. A mechanic in Phoenix told me yesterday he's worked on the same 2006 Corolla for 8 years. Customer bought it with 120,000 miles. Now it has 280,000. In 8 years, I've replaced brake pads, tires, and oil. That's it. I've made more money on 1 month of German luxury car repairs. Consumer Reports owner surveys show these Corollas averaging 4.8 out of 5 for reliability even at high mileage. Find one under $5,000 with service records, and you've found transportation that will outlast 2 newer cars. Pro tip: avoid the 2009 plus models. They got more complex and less reliable. Stick with 2003 to 2008 for maximum bulletproof factor. The Civic from this generation earned Consumer Reports' Best Buy designation 5 years running. The D17 engine is legendary for hitting 300,000 miles without major repairs, and the manual transmission is so robust that driving instructors use these cars to teach teenagers. The beauty is in the simplicity. No cylinder deactivation, no turbochargers, no hybrid complexity, just a naturally aspirated engine that sips gas and runs forever. Consumer Reports' reliability data shows these Civics maintaining 90% plus of their original performance even at 200,000 plus miles. Mike from Texas told me this week about his 2003 Civic. Bought it for my daughter when she turned 16. She drove it through college, then her younger brother took it. Now it's got 290,000 miles and still gets 35 miles per gallon. We've spent maybe $2,000 in repairs over 12 years. A Honda service advisor told me yesterday that these Civics are so reliable they're boring to work on. We see them for oil changes and tire rotations, occasionally brake pads. The engines just don't break. I've seen original clutches last 250,000 miles with proper driving. Consumer Reports data shows these Civics cost an average of $400 annually in repairs after 150,000 miles, less than most people spend on coffee. Insider secret: the 2001 to 2005 models are slightly more reliable than 2006, but all are excellent. Manual transmission versions last longer than automatics, the Yaris that everyone ignored because it looked boring. Consumer Reports called it exceptionally reliable, and owners call it the car that never breaks. The 1.5-liter engine is overbuilt for the car's weight, creating a powertrain that barely works hard even at highway speeds. Consumer Reports reliability surveys show Yaris owners reporting fewer problems than any other subcompact car. The transmission is a simple 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual, both engineered for longevity over performance. Lisa from California told me yesterday she bought a 2009 Yaris with 160,000 miles for $4,200. Everyone said I should buy something nicer. Now, 2 years later, it's at 200,000 miles and hasn't needed anything but oil changes and one set of brake pads. My sister's 2019 Sentra has been to the dealer 4 times for warranty work. A Toyota technician told me this morning that Yaris engines are so understressed they barely wear. I've torn down 250,000-mile Yaris engines that looked like they had 50,000 miles. The pistons, rings, bearings, everything looks almost new. They're just not working hard enough to wear out. Why dealers hate them? These cars last so long that customers don't come back for years. Bad for dealer service revenue, great for your wallet. 3 small cars that prove size doesn't determine longevity. But if you think small cars are impressive, wait until you see the compact sedans that Consumer Reports says are practically indestructible. The midsize sedans that were engineered when car companies still competed on durability instead of features. Consumer Reports called these the most reliable cars ever tested, and they were right. These aren't just good used cars, they're automotive legends that happen to be selling for used car prices. The Camry from this era earned Consumer Reports' highest reliability rating 4 years straight. The 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine is so robust that taxi companies bought them by the thousands, and many are still running today with over 400,000 miles. Consumer Reports owner surveys show these Camrys averaging less than $300 annually in repairs even after 200,000 miles. The automatic transmission is a bulletproof 5-speed that shifts smoothly for the life of the car. Robert from Ohio told me this week about his 2004 Camry. Bought it with 140,000 miles for $4,500 3 years ago. Now it has 210,000 miles. In 3 years, I've spent $400 on repairs, a water pump, and brake pads. My coworker's 2020 Altima has been in the shop 6 times for transmission problems. A Toyota Master technician told me yesterday that these Camry engines are over-engineered. The 2AZFE engine was built like a truck motor. Heavy internals, conservative tuning, massive oil capacity for the displacement. I've seen them run 50,000 miles on the same oil and still pass compression tests. The V6 models are even more impressive. The 3.0-liter 1 MZAFE engine routinely hits 300,000 plus miles. Consumer Reports data shows V6 Camrys from this era maintaining 95% of their original power even at extreme mileage. Secret weapon: the 2005 to 2006 models got a slightly updated transmission that's even more durable. Find one under $5,000 and you found transportation for the next decade. Consumer Reports gave the Accord from this generation their most reliable award 3 consecutive years. The K24 4-cylinder engine is legendary in Honda circles for its durability, and the V6 models are nearly as bulletproof. The beauty is in Honda's engineering philosophy from this era. Build it right the first time. No cost-cutting, no planned obsolescence, just solid engineering that lasts. Jennifer from Texas told me yesterday about her 2005 Accord. Bought it for my son when he started college. 4 years later, he graduated and gave it back to me. It now has 280,000 miles and still feels tight. The AC is ice cold. The transmission shifts perfectly, and it still gets 32 miles per gallon on the highway. A Honda service manager told me this morning that these Accords are so reliable they're almost boring. We see them for scheduled maintenance, and that's about it. The engines don't leak, the transmissions don't slip, the electrical systems don't fail, they just run and run and run. Consumer Reports' long-term testing showed these Accords maintaining their original fuel economy and performance even after 150,000 miles of testing. The manual transmission models are virtually indestructible. Insider tip, the 2003 to 2005 models are slightly more reliable than 2006 to 2007, but all are excellent. V6 models offer more power with only slightly higher maintenance costs. Before Nissan went CVT crazy, they made the Sentra with a traditional automatic transmission. Consumer Reports rated these models as above average for reliability, and owners report 250,000 plus mile lifespans with proper maintenance. The QR25DE engine is simple, reliable, and understressed in the lightweight Sentra chassis. The 4-speed automatic transmission is basic but bulletproof. No complex programming, no adaptive learning, just reliable shifting. David from Arizona told me last week he bought a 2007 Sentra with 150,000 miles for $3,800. Everyone told me to buy a Corolla or Civic, but this was $1,500 cheaper, and Consumer Reports said it was reliable. 2 years later, it's at 190,000 miles and hasn't needed anything but routine maintenance. A Nissan technician told me yesterday that these pre-CVT Sentras are the last reliable Nissans. Once they went to CVT transmissions, everything changed. But these older ones with the 4-speed auto, they're solid. The engines run forever and the transmissions shift the same at 200,000 miles as they did new. Critical detail, avoid 2007 plus models with CVT transmissions. Stick with 2005 to 2006 for maximum reliability, or 2007 to 2010 with traditional automatic only. 3 compact sedans that prove reliability doesn't require premium badges, but if you want to see Consumer Reports' most shocking recommendations, wait until you see the full-size sedans they say will outlast luxury cars costing 5 times more. The full-size sedans that were built when American manufacturers still remembered how to make reliable cars. Consumer Reports called these surprisingly durable, and owners call them the best cars we ever owned. These are the cars that prove you don't need a luxury badge to get luxury durability. The first-generation Avalon that Consumer Reports called exceptionally reliable and better built than most luxury cars. The 3.0-liter V6 is the same bulletproof engine from the Camry, but in a larger, more comfortable package. Consumer Reports' long-term testing showed these Avalons maintaining their original ride quality and performance even after 150,000 miles. The leather seats wear better than German luxury cars, and the paint holds up like it was designed for taxi duty. Michael from Florida told me this week about his 2002 Avalon. Bought it with 120,000 miles for $4,800 2 years ago. Everyone said I was crazy buying a high-mileage luxury car. Now it has 160,000 miles and rides smoother than my neighbor's new Lexus ES. The AC is ice cold, everything works, and it's never left me stranded. A Toyota Master technician told me yesterday that these Avalons are overbuilt. Same reliable drivetrain as the Camry, but with better sound, deadening, higher quality interior materials, and more robust suspension components. They're basically Lexus cars without the badge markup. Consumer Reports' owner satisfaction surveys show these Avalons scoring higher than BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class from the same era. The difference? The Avalon keeps running while the German cars are in the shop. Hidden secret, many were owned by older drivers who barely drove them. Find one with 80,000 to 120,000 miles and full service records. It's like finding automotive gold. The LeSabre that Consumer Reports surprisingly rated as above average for reliability. The 3.8-liter V6 is legendary for durability, the same engine that powered police cars and taxis for decades. This isn't your grandfather's Buick, it's your grandfather's bulletproof Buick. Consumer Reports data shows these cars routinely hitting 200,000 plus miles with nothing but routine maintenance. Patricia from Michigan told me yesterday about her 2003 LeSabre. Inherited it from my mother with 80,000 miles. That was 8 years ago. Now it has 180,000 miles and runs like the day she bought it. My daughter's 2018 Malibu has been to the dealer more times in 2 years than this car has been in 8. A GM technician told me this morning that the 3800 V6 in these LeSabres is virtually indestructible. I've seen them run with no oil pressure, overheated until the radiator boiled dry, and they just keep running. The engine is so overbuilt that normal driving barely stresses it. Most failures I see are from neglect, not wear. Consumer Reports noted that these LeSabres cost less to maintain than most compact cars. The parts are cheap, the repairs are simple, and any mechanic can work on them. Why they're cheap? The Buick badge scares younger buyers who think old people car. Their loss is your gain. These are among the most reliable cars ever built. The Impala with the bulletproof 3800 V6 that Consumer Reports rated as reliable despite being a Chevrolet. Police departments and rental fleets bought these by the thousands, and many are still running today with 300,000 plus miles. The 3.8-liter V6 is the same engine as the LeSabre, proven, reliable, and cheap to maintain. The 4-speed automatic transmission is simple and robust, designed for fleet duty, where reliability matters more than smoothness. James from Texas told me last week about his 2005 Impala. Bought it from a rental car company with 60,000 miles for $4,200. That was 5 years ago. Now it has 140,000 miles and hasn't needed anything major. My brother's Honda Pilot from the same year has had more problems. A Chevrolet service advisor told me yesterday that these fleet Impalas are surprisingly reliable. The 3800 engine just doesn't break. We see them for oil changes and brake pads and occasionally a water pump or alternator, but the major components last forever. They're not exciting, but they're dependable. Fleet Advantage. Many were maintained by professional fleet services with detailed records. Ex-rental and ex-police cars often have better maintenance than privately owned vehicles. Critical note, avoid the 3.4-liter V6 and 3.5-liter V6 models. Stick with the 3.8-liter only for maximum reliability. 3 full-size sedans that prove American cars can be reliable when engineered properly. But if you think sedans are impressive, wait until you see the SUVs that Consumer Reports says will outlast modern luxury vehicles. The SUVs that were built when manufacturers still believed utility vehicles should actually be useful for more than just looking good in mall parking lots. Consumer Reports called these exceptionally durable, and owners call them the best vehicles we ever owned. These aren't just cheap SUVs, they're engineering masterpieces that happen to be selling for used car prices. The RAV4 from this era that Consumer Reports rated as their most reliable small SUV 4 years running. The 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine is the same bulletproof unit from the Camry, and the all-wheel drive system is simple, reliable, and nearly maintenance-free. Consumer Reports' long-term testing showed these RAV4s maintaining 95% of their original performance even after 150,000 miles. The manual transmission models are virtually indestructible, and even the automatic versions are highly reliable. Susan from Colorado told me this week about her 2004 RAV4. Bought it with 140,000 miles for $4,900 2 years ago. Everyone said I was paying too much for a high-mileage SUV. Now it has 180,000 miles and climbs mountain passes better than my friend's new Subaru Forester. The AWD system works perfectly. It's never left me stranded, and it still gets 28 miles per gallon. A Toyota technician told me yesterday that these RAV4s are over-engineered. The 2AZFE engine was built for the heavier Camry, so in the lighter RAV4 it barely works. The AWD system is mechanical, no computers to fail, no complex electronics. Just bulletproof engineering that lasts forever. Consumer Reports owner surveys show these RAV4s averaging less than $400 annually in repairs even after 200,000 miles. The AWD system adds capability without sacrificing reliability. Secret advantage. Many were bought by suburban families who barely use the AWD capability. Find one with maintenance records and you've found a compact SUV that will outlast 2 modern crossovers. The CR-V that Consumer Reports called the most reliable compact SUV we've ever tested. The K24 4-cylinder engine is legendary for durability, and the real-time AWD system is simple, effective, and nearly maintenance-free. Consumer Reports data shows these CR-Vs maintaining their original fuel economy and performance even at extreme mileage. The automatic transmission is a robust 5-speed that shifts smoothly for the life of the vehicle. Mark from Arizona told me yesterday about his 2005 CR-V. Bought it for my wife with 120,000 miles for $4,700. That was 4 years ago. Now it has 200,000 miles and runs like new. The AC is ice cold, the transmission shifts perfectly, and it's never needed anything but routine maintenance. A Honda service manager told me this morning that these CR-Vs are almost boring to work on. They come in for oil changes and tire rotations, occasionally brake pads. The engines don't leak, the transmissions don't fail, the AWD systems don't break. They just work year after year. If you don't want to get taken for a ride like so many used car buyers, make sure you subscribe so you're always up to date with the latest reliability data and hidden gems. Consumer Reports updates their recommendations, and knowledge is your only protection against expensive mistakes. Consumer Reports noted that these CR-Vs cost less to maintain than most sedans, while offering SUV capability and all-weather traction. Insider tip: the 2005 to 2006 models got a slightly updated engine that's even more reliable. Manual transmission versions are rare but virtually indestructible. Consumer Reports also identified the cars to avoid completely. Never buy any Nissan with CVT transmission, any GM vehicle with cylinder deactivation, any German luxury car over 100,000 miles, any Chrysler product from this era. This opportunity won't last forever. As word spreads about these reliable gems, prices will rise. Cash for clunkers already destroyed many of these cars, and time is claiming others through accidents and neglect. Want to avoid the 17 car brands that will cost you the most money in 2025? Download our free ebook, Avoid the 17 Car Brands You Need to Avoid in 2025, and protect yourself from the biggest automotive money traps. Link in the description below. An automotive analyst told me this week, we're seeing the last generation of truly reliable, affordable used cars. Once these are gone, buyers will be stuck choosing between expensive new cars or unreliable used ones. The sweet spot is disappearing. You have two choices: buy one of these Consumer Reports champions now while they're still affordable, or wait and pay 3 times more for a less reliable, newer car. The data is clear. The opportunity is real. The only question is whether you'll act on it before everyone else discovers what Consumer Reports has been trying to tell us all along. These cars don't just outlast everything. They outlast the companies that built them, and right now, they're waiting for someone smart enough to recognize automotive gold when they see it.